Next speaker is Chen Dongyu from Institute of Information Engineering, Chinese Academy of Sciences, and the School of Cybersecurity, University of Chinese Academy of Sciences. It's one speaker, right? The work is about file hijacking vulnerability, the elephant in the room. So, Chen Dong, please.
Okay, hi, I'm Chen Dongyu from the University of Chinese Academy of Sciences, and I'm glad to share our work in the next few minutes. Let's move on. Security boundaries are very important in modern operating systems. For example, the user boundary means that a user cannot access or tamper the code and the data of another user without authorization. And the question is how to break the security boundary. In this paper, we propose the concept of hijacking vulnerability, shortened as FHVuln. This is a type of security flow where an attacker can break security boundaries by manipulating files, including file paths and contents, resulting in several security issues such as code execution, privilege escalation, and data loss. Okay, let's further understand the file FHVuln through an example case identified in Git. In this case, an attacker, Bob, with low privilege had permission to control configuration files under c.git, and then the victim Alice invokes a Git command such as git log. The Git program will search and search from the current working directory until the root of C disk and use the configure files in it. Finally, as a result, Bob can trick Alice into executing arbitrary code. So, we can derive a simple threat model from this example case. An attacker had to hijack a file or file path, and then the victim need to use contents in it. However, we still don't clear with some details about FHVuln, so we did an empirical study with 3 research questions. The research question 1 is that what are the origins of the hijacked files? And the question 2 is that what types of operations are dangerous? Because not all operations will cause real damage. And the research question 3 is that when in the software life cycle are FHVulns triggered? So to answer these questions, we collected 268 well-documented FHVulns from the CVE database for the period of January 2020 to October 2022 to answer the. Due to time limitation, we show our observations directly. The observation 1 is that most hijacked files are due to file search strategies employed by programs or operating systems, and the rest come from files created by programs with weak permissions. And the file search strategies are path search order, Linux path on Windows, unquoted paths, symbolic links, and dynamically loaded libraries. The observation 2 is that there are 6 types of dangerous operations. Most of them are due to image loading and process creation, which can cause code execution. And notice that the moving, creating, deleting operations are related to symbolic links. And the observation 3 is that FHVuln exists in all stages of software, and the majority of them are exploited in the startup stage. To detect FHVuln, we designed a tool called Jerry. It consists of 4 parts, including event trace generator, FHVuln detector, path pool maintainer, and path hijacker. Jerry will interact with the target program and generate event trace and report potential FHVuln by our threat model. For all paths, it will maintain a path pool and tested these paths in the next iterations. Let's see the details of each part. Okay. The event tree generator, it executes the target program at each stage and record executed file operation traces. For on installation, repairing, and upstate stage, it automates execution with package manager. And in the startup and the usage stage for GUI, we simply interactive like a button click. And for command line, it will read configure from configuration files. Okay. We also design a real-time file operation monitor in event trace generator. It will monitor process info like process ID, command line operation, executed program, and path info like path and the existence in current operating system. And the permissions, this will check whether it can be manipulated by the path hijacker or not, and the real type of this path. We also monitor all operations like moving, deleting, creating, reading, and so on. Then, okay, the FHVuln detector just report potential FHVuln based on our threat model. In this case, it knows that the attacker have hijacked c.git config file, and after hijacking, the program will read the contents in it, so it will report it as a potential FHVuln. The passable maintainer, it will context the files encountered in the event traces and put them into a passable. In this step, jury will also check if file refers to a normal file or directory. This is very important because if we hijack the file path with the wrong type, then we will miss many cases in this step. We use a heuristic and a trail and arrow mechanism to determine whether a path is a file or a directory. The heuristic is that when accessing a normal file, programs commonly check the existence of the parent directory, while such a check is unnecessary when accessing a directory. The trail and arrow mechanism is that we will first hijack it as a file, and then we will see if there exists file-specific operations, then the guess is true. Otherwise, it is a directory. So let's see with the example case. In iteration 1, Jerry guessed that c.git is a directory, and after hijacking it, generates a new path event with subpath c.git config. This is a directory specific operation, so which means c.git is a real directory. And next we will check c.git config. We first try it is a file, and after hijacking this, Git process read content of it. This is a file specific operation, so there is a mistake. C.git config is a file. And the path hijacker just hijack file and the file path as an attacker for executable, and there we replace with manually craft files, and for other files we will create a blank file consists of new line and space characters. And for creating, moving, deleting operations, we just create a symbolic link point to a special location to monitor. Okay. We implemented Jerry and evaluated on 2 benchmarks against 2 baseline tools in 3 experiments. The no benchmark consists of 51 FHVulns from our study, and the on-no benchmark consists of 438 real-world software. The 2 benchmarks is the previous track and Jerry Quizzes. Previous track is a static tool analysis access control list of a file and report weak permissions. And Jerry Quizzes is extended from Quizzes. Quizzes is a FHVuln detector tool by analyzing event traces captured by ProcMo. So we extended it by incorporating the event trace generator model and replace our monitor with ProcMo. The 3 experiments is that the effectiveness on no vulnerabilities and the effectiveness on unknown vulnerabilities and the efficiency of our password maintainer. Okay. Jury report with only one false positive in the no vulnerabilities benchmark. This is because this vulnerability exists in very complex use situation, so our trigger cannot trigger this behavior of it. And the false positive of this track is that it only scanning the parent directory permissions when encountering an executable. And the false positive of Jerry Christos is that the hijacking does not mean that the file will be used by program. So it both previous track and Jerry Christos report false negatives because they don't consider all sensitive operations. And the previous track also report false negative due to it only consider stage after installation. In unknown benchmark, Jerry found 339 zero-day FHVulns in 438 real-world software with 21 false positives. 84 of them have been confirmed by the developer and assigned with FHVuln CVE IDs. And the previous track only found 39 FHVulns. Jerry Christos detect 143 FHVulns. All false positive issues are related to the reading operation, and we divided them into two types. The type 1 is that the program read but not actually use the configure in its code logic. And the type 2 is that it read and use it, but this parameter is not, it only worked in Linux system, so it cannot exploit in Windows system. Finally, we tested the efficiency of our password maintainer. The Jerry non-info is that it only tests every pass one by one, and the results show that Jerry achieved at least 2.14 faster in the user stage and 7.13 faster in the installation stage. This is because there are only a few paths that can be hijacked in the user stage, but in the installation stage, there are much more paths that can be hijacked than other stages. We also analyze the new FHVulns and give two main findings. The finding 1 is that the bottom-up search strategy, which shows in our example case, this is a software-tolerant search strategy that lead to 8 new FHVulns in software like Git and .NET SDK. And the finding 2 is that reading operations result in more FHVulns than we studied, 30.4 vs 7.1. And they are more dangerous than we think because some configuring files can lead to code execution. So in conclusion, we provide a clear definition of the threat model and do an empirical study on FHVuln reviews in arrangements and the triggering mechanism of FHVulns. And we developed a dynamic analysis tool, Jerry. It found 339 zero-day FHVulns, and 84 of them have been confirmed or fixed with FHVuln CVE ID granted. Finally, we conduct an in-depth analysis of the newly discovered FHVulns and made new findings that were not observable for existing FHVulns. Thanks for listening.
Okay, I think we have time for several questions. Okay.
Hi, Ryan from Georgia Tech. Really cool presentation. I apologize if you already mentioned this, but I just wanted to clarify. The threat model here is that the attacker is a local user on the system who's allowed to make files.
Yeah, we assume that the attacker have permission to the local PC.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, thanks for the talk. So I was wondering on the file hijacker component, it sounds like you kind of manually created some files to launch attacks. I mean, is there something? Does it do something dynamic there? Can you elaborate on that?
I'm sorry.
The last component of your system, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the one that hijacks the files. You know, you created these files manually with data to try to exploit the victim when they use them? Never mind. I'll retract the question.
Okay.
So could you elaborate on the permission model a little more? What permissions does the adversary need to exploit the victim?
Mostly the victim is an administrator permission, and the attacker is a normal user permission.
Mm-hmm.
So it will cause. So
But the attacker will need some permission to administrator files then.
Yeah. He need to. The attacker.
Anyway, we can talk offline.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I think we can afford one more question. Anyone? Okay, if no, I have one question. Okay. So you mentioned that you're going to trigger some events and then you can detect the bugs, right? Yeah. How do you guarantee your trigger is comprehensive? Are you going to miss some bugs because you cannot trigger it?
This is a problem when we design jury, because if we do very complex user interactive, and it will cause very I think this is a developer problem of our tool.
So you mean you do have this problem? You cannot guarantee the convenience.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question? So I have an interesting one. Since this is a bug detection tool, how about Tom instead of Jerry? Okay, you got it. Okay.
Our title is that we think it's a popular problem in software, but
that's okay. That's a joke. You'll get it if you watch more TVs. Anyway, let's thank our speaker again. Appreciate this work of Jerry.